It is Monday, the Rich Lieberman Media Pulse. We are live here on YouTube. If you're not watching us live right now and you're watching us later on or whenever is a convenient time to watch, thank you. And please spread the word, subscribe, make a donation to my site so I can continue to give you all the news, opinion, entertainment, information, etc., etc. You know, when news hit of the Biden announcement that he wasn't going to run again, which was not that shocking, as I indicated in a prior broadcast. Just the timing, like everything else, is still somewhat surprising, air quotes, but we knew that it might be coming any day now because all the polling was indicating that it was going to be a tough time for Biden to beat Donald Trump. So I pretty much scanned all the channels, internet, television, radio. We have no radio in the Bay Area. But speaking of radio, now the television stations, local news, they were savvy enough to let the networks take over and provide all the national coverage because they had reporters in place, whether at the White House, nationally. Of course, a lot of the reporters were just getting back from Milwaukee, the site of the Republican convention. But you enter your usual stalwarts: CNN, MSNBC, Fox, the networks to some degree had pretty much comprehensive coverage and did a very good job for the most part, getting opinion, getting analysis. Um, I went all over the place. Uh, CNN, of course, CBS, USA Today online, and I wanted to get Fox News too. And that this is another posting broadcast, but it was somewhat predictable. But in any event, they pretty much got what you wanted: information, the theory behind Biden. When he was going to announce what he eventually announced. Locally, I tuned in to KCBS. I went to various other. We don't, again, no KGO, obviously. We have the usual, not very overwhelming, not even whelming, if you will, uh, NPR, and that they don't give you anything. So I put KCBS. I just figured, I had the cable on in the background. I wanted to hear what KCBS was talking about. They brought in a Sunday crew of Matt Bigler, which was solid, pretty good for a while. Then it all became a disaster. KCBS is, I chuckle because they get worse. They have no clue anymore. First of all, Doug Sovereign, pretty good reporter, good analysis, although he's a little biased, like most of us are. But he was in Milwaukee covering the Republican convention, not on KCBS's dime, but on CBS's dime, because Odyssey doesn't believe anymore in anything other than just the very, very, very minimal coverage of anything, right? So you had Matt Bigler on with Doug Sovereign, who is the KCBS political reporter and editor. Pretty decent. Then it all became pathetic. We had Brett Burkhart came in on Sunday around 4 o'clock, and it was like having the Glee Club member who's just happy to be there. He's got the Peter Brady voice, like, like he's giggling, like, oh my God, I came in. I'm here and I'm covering this story. And he doesn't know how to cover anything. He is so terrible. He's like, it's like listening to an amateur. Well, that's KCBS, amateur hour. So he's on Burkhart, a KGO retread. Then he chimes in with an analyst, really an anchor in the background, Pat Thurston. I like Pat for the most part. She does a good job anchoring, but when she goes into her analysis, which is biased. She's a known liberal, and that's fine. I'm a known liberal, but I don't even call myself a liberal. I'm middle of the road towards the left. But whatever. But she starts talking about minute things. They bring in both of them, Thurston and Brett Burkhardt. They start talking about Robert Kennedy Jr. in some weird angle that has nothing to do with Joe Biden, the president, saying he's not going to run, has nothing to do with Kamala Harris. And I don't know what Pat Thurston was doing. In any event, it went downhill from there. Then Burkhart is on. He does these Glee Club kind of interviews with various people, which is not very good to begin with. And oh yes, KCBS, here they are promoting the fact that we're doing wall-to-wall coverage. This is Sunday afternoon. No, they're not. They're not. They're doing traffic and weather when there's no traffic. Okay, so you got to do the traffic reports. Mind you, the whole entire galaxy, the universe, is talking about the Biden deal and Kamala Harris and the Republican reaction and Trump reaction and internet and everything there is. This station, this alleged news station, touting itself as a wall-to-wall provider of news on this topic, yet they're doing traffic reports when there's no traffic, weather when there's no weather. And the topper, going to sports reports that were taped the prior week. Here we are, everybody wanting to know what the hell is going on with the political world and Biden and Kamala Harris and Trump and all that. They're playing, folks, they're playing taped sports reports, not even live reports. I started hyena laughing. I couldn't believe it. And of course, the obligatory 5,000 commercials that they run, even on a Sunday, even when they have, touting themselves as wall-to-wall coverage of this Biden announcement. Yet they're running taped sports reports, commercials. You would have been better off just turning the radio off. It was a joke, and it gets progressively worse. And they get progressively worse because they don't cover anything. They are terrible. I don't know how much more to say it. People think, oh my God, you're picking on KCBS. How can I not be picking on KCBS? How could any ordinary fool not be picking on KCBS? I don't know how much more of a joke they can become. They bring people in. They do something good for a change. They speak to Phil Mateer, one of their political insiders, or one of their analysts that they did bring on, yet they go to a traffic report. When you have cohesiveness, when you have a crescendo, when you're doing something wall to wall, then damn it, stay with it. I don't give a shit if there's a sponsor. You do what they refer to in the business as paybacks or make goods. Here you have a major story that has international implications, and you can't stay with a person, an analyst that's talking about what everybody is pretty much talking about. You go to a fucking taped sports report and you start bringing up conspiracy theories about Robert F. Kennedy, which I don't know why they brought up Robert F. Kennedy. To make some kind of a point, Pat Thurston did, and Burkhart you bring in, who's terrible. You should have just stayed with Matt Bigler. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is KCBS, a joke of a joke. I'll see you later. Welcome to Monday.